What is up? Welcome back to the On the Burst podcast. I'm your coach, Brandon Savage. I'm joined by my assistant coach for the first time in many months. Big Les, how are you, Les?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Team Xavier Savage, what's doing?
Not much. How's the off-season been? I feel like I've had a bit of a break. It's been all right. It's been stressful, but
I think I had
we're
a
back.
week off and then Pack Champs hit and, we're getting straight back into the content there. So it's been quite busy organising all the season reviews for our podcast as well. So exciting time for Big Les's League. Just getting everything set up for the off-season.
100%. It's going to be a longer off-season. I thought we'd get in here and keep ourselves accountable for what we predicted at the start of the season. We kind of had a lot of different takes that we put on the table at the start of the season. So I thought we'd come back and revisit it today. So today we're obviously going to review the Tigers, the Raiders, and the Rabbitohs. That was our first podcast this year. And I listened back to that podcast. It was a pretty good podcast. We had some good takes, some things that hit, some things that didn't. So I'm really keen to go back on that and see how we went. But firstly, we're going to go into the transfer market. We're going to see what players are available as of November 1 and see where we think the best place for them to land is, see where all these different rumours are. So firstly, Jake Averillo on the open market as of November 1 this Saturday.
Yeah, I know. Exciting. I think that he'll definitely be a guy that's sought after by a few clubs, just his utility value. And, I mean, even just how well he's played last year in a few opportunities in a few games there at fullback. I think that if there's any club that's looking for a stand-in in any position in the spine and even in the outside backs, I think he could fill it perfectly too. Whether it be a depth guy, whether it be a starting 17 guy, he can do both really well. And I almost think he's one of the more rounded out 14 options that's on the market at the moment out of this list as well. So I like Averillo. I think that he'll be sought after by a few clubs. I just don't know exactly what club he'd fit best at. I think he could fit well anywhere, really.
I'm thinking of one club in particular. They've just lost Daniel Atkinson. I think the Sharks is a great landing spot for him. I think Braden Trindle, he's been up and down. I think he is probably, as much as I hate to say, he probably is a good partner to go with Hines. I think he does provide a point of difference for them. It's very different from the regular halves pairing. If they make it work, it could be elite. But I think someone like Averillo could really put pressure on him, potentially play fullback if they need a fullback. I think he's very good at fullback, could put pressure on Will Kennedy, which we did the Sharks review earlier in the season. I'm still cold on Kennedy just not being that fullback. So I think potentially the Sharks is a good option for him.
Yeah, I like the Sharks. I think that, as you said, he could probably fill in well at fullback depending on Will Kennedy and what happens there if he has a good start to the year. I think that as well with Averillo, I'd be more inclined to put him at a club that's looking for an out-and-out 14 option. The Sharks don't generally play a 14 off the bench, and every time they named Atkinson, he'd always end up at 18th man. And I think that Averillo is too good to be an 18th man week to week. I think that he's got to be in year 17 somewhere.
I think he's too good to be an 18th man, but like for the Dolphins this year, do you really think he's going to get a spot?
Yeah, I think he will probably lose his spot because I've got a few big calls for the Dolphins next year. But I think that one of them will have to be that he loses his spot too. So look, it will be interesting. I think that, as I said, he's probably a really good 14th man option. I think that he'd be a great 14 for a lot of clubs. I also think, as I said, he'd be a great spine player for a lot of clubs as well. So Perth Bears, I think that he'd be awesome as a little bit of a signing there. Like, you don't have to plan too much around him. You can sign him early and he can fit in wherever you build your side.
Well, he's been kind of perfect for the Dolphins, a new franchise coming off the board. They can really go to him when they've got an injury in one spot, and he's filled that position perfectly. I think potentially for the Dolphins, if Cody Nikorima is injured, I think he's a perfect 5'8" for Isaiah Katoa, but obviously he's off market, so if he doesn't stay with the Dolphins, then there are a few good landing spots. He could go back to the Bulldogs, potentially. There's avenue there, maybe potentially Manly. I think Parramatta.
I don't mind the Parramatta shout. I really don't mind that. It depends on what the plan with Pezzett is. If you're going to have him as a depth 7 or if you're going to play him in that 5'8" jersey. Again, I mean, you've got Dylan Walker there at the moment too. You've got a few guys that'll be fighting for a 14 jersey. Talon De Silva and the young bloke, that's it, Riley Smith. They'll be fighting for that 9 and 14 spot as well. So that'll be highly contested. Look, it'll be super interesting, I guess, it just depends on who needs a 14 the most, really.
I-
Maybe Canberra?
Thought about I don't think Canberra. I think they could use him potentially as backup. Now the Fogarty's gone and Sanders going to come into that halves role. I think that could be a really good backup. And, you know, sometimes these signings really don't have to make sense. Like a lot of the time we've kind of thought, oh, this person would be perfect here. But like Jaden Brayley signs with Canberra and they all of a sudden have three hookers. So we're thinking Tom Starling, no way he resigns a couple of weeks later. So it all depends on what the inside the four walls or what they want. Next one, Rocco Berry from the Warriors, available November 1. I think the big trump card here is the Bears. The Bears will be looking at all these players. So I don't want to just say that they're going to go to the Bears because I feel like it'll just be whatever they can land at this point in time. But
I think he's so unlucky with the injuries, though.
I've got a perfect landing spot for him.
Go give it to me.
Melbourne Storm.
Yeah. Or, well, to replace Dick Meaney.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I like that a lot, actually. I think that he's a good player. As I said, I think it's just really the injuries that are going to hurt him because he's had a ton of injuries. And it's not even just lower limb injuries, too. Like, had that shoulder injury a little bit earlier in the year, too. So, it depends on those injuries and if he can get himself fully right. But when he does, and when he is right, he is a weapon. Big body, destructive, really good in the air, good hands. Pretty evasive as well. I like Rocco Berry. I think that he'd be great at a Melbourne Storm. I like that shout too.
100%. Jaden Campbell, he's been rumoured for many other clubs, the Dragons, the Bears is the big one. Does he stay at Titans? I think the preface here with a lot of these guys are, do they stay at their current clubs? I'm assuming a lot of these guys are testing the open market to see where their value can lie elsewhere. So let's just assume all these people are leaving.
Yeah. Look, I think it really depends on that first 18 months, 12 months really of Hane and how he sort of comes into the club and the culture that he brings and what he can do there, if he can bring them a lot of success, just how the guys feel around him. I think it's going to be the same situation for Tino and all these sort of guys that are coming off contract at the Titans. I like Jaden Campbell. I think that he would offer quite a bit. Here's my question to you. Are you signing him as a 7 or as a 1?
I would sign him as a 6, to be honest.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think he's quite at the top echelon of fullbacks. I wouldn't want to play him at halfback, especially just in this day and age where, you know, your Adam Reynolds, your Ben Hunts, your Nathan Clearys. I don't think he kind of fits there either. I think he's a perfect 6, though. I really love him at 6.
So this, I think if the Titans, so apparently the rumor is that they're signing Lockie Ilias. If they sign Ilias and Jaden Campbell can be the 6 there, I think he'll stay.
Yep.
If they don't sign Lockie Ilias, I think he'll probably go. Just because I think that they've got a lot to figure out. They've got some young guns coming through as well. Zane Harrison, who's there at the moment, who's not quite ready for first grade.
Yeah.
Played in the under-19s at 14 and came on, played a little bit of 9 and a bit of a roaming sort of half role. Yeah, look, I think if Lockie Ilias signs, he'll stay. If not, I think that he'll be a great fit for a lot of clubs. Just really depends on who needs that fight. I mean, Sharks. You brought up the Sharks before.
I was just about to say the Sharks.
I think the Sharks.
I think he'd be great at fullback there. I know I just said I wouldn't sign him as a fullback, but at that club, when you've got Nico Hines at halfback anyway, they can share the load, all three of them. Like Trindle. Trindle loves his hands on the ball, managing the game. Nico, when he's got the hot hand, he loves doing that as well. I think they can all kind of three of them could gel together and really form a combination that could be lethal. And he's a decent goal kicker. Yeah.
That's a good option. I like the Sharks for him and following in his father's footsteps as well a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I like it. There's Nick Meaney, Tyrell Sloan, James Tedesco. I think he'll re-sign with the Roosters.
So if the Roosters want to keep Mark, Tedesco might leave.
Yeah, right.
Because there was a little bit of chat. So the original chat was that Mark wants to go back to rugby. That's it. Then he was in an interview a week later, and he said if there was an opportunity for him to play fullback, he'd consider staying.
Oh, no.
So I think if they want to keep Mark and they want that longevity, there's a world I think where Tedesco maybe does.
Tedesco is a grade of the club. I know they're pretty ruthless in their recruitment.
Yep.
Mitchell Pearce comes to mind, axing him for Cooper Cronk, but Tedesco, they never did that with Minicello like that. They just held strong with him. I think they're going to let him go on his own terms, but maybe they'll just tap him on the shoulder and be like, hey, Mark wants to play fullback. What are you going to do? I think he retires at the Roosters. I think Teddy's just that much of a legend that he'll stay there. But if he doesn't, swan song at the Tigers.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I don't think he will because it depends what happens with Jerome Buller. Because that's the thing, right? He's obviously in this bit of a Mexican standoff. Are you going to give me 900K? Are you going to give me 800K? You're not going to give me anywhere near that. Like they're in a real bit of a standoff at the moment as well. So maybe the Tigers is a place where he maybe pops back to.
It's funny. I told you that contract situation at the start of the year. You were like, what the hell? What sort of contract is that?
Yeah.
And I because you didn't believe it, I didn't believe what I was saying.
Yeah.
But then it's come up, obviously, this point of year. 900K is a lot for someone like Dream Buller, in my opinion.
I think at the ceiling that he's got, though, like, do you just pay him on? Do you pay a player on ceiling, or do you pay a player on what their current form? That's the thing, and that's the thing that they've sort of got to decide what they want to do.
I don't think so. I think he's got a lot more to show still. You look at Tyrell Sloan, kind of very similar vibes at fullback early on in his career.
Yep.
He's got to show a lot more to kick on. 900K is a lot for a spine player.
I think he has come a long way, though.
Oh, I think so too.
I think, if we're talking about this a year earlier, I think that they're probably going to let him go 100%. I don't think there's no way they're paying him 900K because he just wasn't ready as a first grader, really. Came in, just didn't really know the fullback position too well, the timings, the passing, just really wasn't icing opportunities while they're at fullback. This year, it's a completely different story. I think that he's come a long way. Look, as I said, if you're paying him on potential, I think that you'd probably go ahead and keep Dream. And keep him for that, maybe even an 850, just sort of meet in the middle there. But yeah, it depends on if they want to pay him for potential or if they want to pay him for, they don't want to pay him for potential. Really, that's what we're looking at here. So obviously there was chat that he was going to the Dogs too because he was sitting in the members section at the Dogs game a few weeks before the end of the year. So it depends on what they want to do.
Do you think the Dogs are going to target a fullback?
Why? I just don't know. I don't think they need to.
Like if a Pappenhausen came on the market?
I wouldn't.
No?
Pappy's too injury prone for me at the moment still.
You think Connor Tracy, they're happy with that?
I mean, if Connor Tracy doesn't work, just move Critter back to fullback.
Yeah, I kind of like that actually. Jackson Purdue, Tyron Wishart. There's a lot of 5'8" on this list, to be honest. I think we're just going to name the regular suspects, but obviously Tyron Wishart, heavily linked with the Dragons.
Yep.
Do you think that'll happen?
He's in that system before, so I mean, it wouldn't shock me if there's a little bit of a return on the cards there. I think they've got enough halves at the moment. They're already sitting in a tough position because they got Flano, they got that Larkin King Tonga, they've got Atkinson coming in the door, and then depending on if he does leave or if he does stay, Ilias. It looks like he's going to the Titans, so it looks like he's leaving. Still three halves there that they've got to decide where they fit into this team. Is it worth adding a Wishart to that list? I don't think so. But also, Wish could come in there and play fullback as well, which I don't like necessarily. But, Gutho's not getting any younger either, and they're going to have to find a plan there. Seems like Sloan's going to go. So, yeah,
interesting. I don't love it, to be honest. Yeah. I would have loved them to really have a hot crack at Metcalf. I'm really surprised that Metcalf re-signed, to be honest. Sydney lad in New Zealand. I thought he was going to come back over to Australia.
Yeah, but how important he is to that team and how at home they've sort of made him look as well.
100%.
I think that was always going to happen, really. I don't think he was ever really going to go to St. George. And I think it's a reason why a lot of big players and big, guys that have come off contract haven't gone to that club because it just looks like there's not a lot of direction there at the moment.
Yeah.
I think that they should hold off on Wish because I think that they've got to sort their own stuff out and figure out what their halves pairing is going to be. I honestly wouldn't be shocked if in the next couple of years Flanagan isn't a half.
Yeah, he was training to be number 9 at the start of last year.
Yeah.
But then all that stuff happened with Ronald Volkman.
I think he could be an awesome 13.
13?
Yeah. If you put another 10 kilos on him and you just get him to run.
Potentially.
I'd love him as a good little solid 13 option.
Yeah, I don't know if he's physical enough, but at least 14. I think 14
You got
would
Little
be
and you got Cook. So, I mean, that's out of the picture now, though.
Yeah.
I'd say 13. And the good thing about him at 13 is It's unorthodox. As I said, you put another 10 kilos on him. I think the best part of his game last year was his running game, and it was what brought him the most success. He's either going to be a 13 or a 6 for me. I cannot stand another season where he's a halfback. He's just not a game managing player. They're
going to find a spot for him somewhere, aren't they?
They will. It's Shane Flanagan, the coach of the side. They'll find a spot for him, but I don't think it's going to be at 7. I wouldn't put him at 7.
There's a few other guys on this list. Purdue is very interesting as well. I think he re-signs with the Cowboys potentially.
Yeah.
But he's linked heavily with a lot of other clubs too.
I want to throw one at you.
Yeah.
Melbourne
as a 6 or a 1?
Munster's going to retire at some stage. I'd say maybe 6. You could potentially play him at 1, but Fa'alongo's there.
I actually really don't mind it. Obviously, there's a clear path for him. Start at number 3 and then move into number 6 when Munster's gone. I think it's a really good landing spot for him.
Yeah. I didn't even think about centre either.
Yeah.
I think that, he could do a good job. You can move Howarth over to the right side. I think I like him on that left side.
Has to play left for sure.
Yeah, I like him. I think Melbourne would be an awesome landing spot for him.
Melbourne.
And you don't have to pay overs for him either.
Yeah, because he'll come down for a bit cheaper.
Man, he can go 14 and Bob's your uncle.
I don't mind that. There's a few other guys on this list like Lindsay Smith, Angus Crichton.
Mate, Chanel Harris-Tavita. If a club doesn't go for Chanel Harris-Tavita in the NRL, I'll be cartwheeling around this studio. Mate, he had one of the better I think his season this year, so underrated. Massive part of that Warriors team, especially when Metcalf was out. He was the 7 and 6 all in one. He was just managing games, doing really, really well in some really great form. Defensively was probably one of the better defensive 6s this year too. Mate, if I'm an NRL club and I'm looking for a half, whether that be 7 or 6, I'm knocking the door down for Chanel Harris-Tavita. He has to find a club.
He's not flashy, but he does a really good job. Like, his kicking game is elite. Like, the amount of 40-20s he's kicked and just defensively, he's
and we're forgetting he had a break the previous year too. He had a full break from the game, comes back and plays at this sort of level. I
just don't see him anywhere but the Warriors, right?
Yeah, yes, but
do they have other plans for any other players?
Yeah, well, they got Tamari Martin there.
Yeah,
they've got Jet Cleary. And there's strong mail that he's going back to Penrith.
Yep.
So if they want to keep him, they've got to fast track that.
Yep.
They've also got that young kid that played 5'8" as well, Liam something.
Yep.
Who's there as well in the lower grades. I mean, they've got a lot of young halves coming through at the Warriors, mate. I think there's a real opportunity for the Warriors if they want to keep Jet Cleary. They've got to fast track that development, but also for any other club to just pounce on Chanel and take that opportunity with 2 hands as well. And Tamari Martin can be that, I guess, step in the road as well for Jet Cleary to then come in and follow in his footsteps as well. So I think that if you're not going after Chanel Harris-Tavita at November 1, you're kidding yourself.
Yeah, I just don't see many clubs that...
I think Para, he'd fit in so well.
He would, but the reason they're going after Pezzett for 1 year is just
the young guy,
to groom the young guys. But maybe they sign Harris-Tavita as a 14 in case that doesn't work out and just allows these younger guys to just have a bit more time.
Canberra, Gold Coast Titans, I think he'd fit in really well there too. I reckon there's a lot of clubs that could use him. I'm big on him.
There's a few other guys. Obviously, Selwyn Cobbo, there could be many landing spots for him. He could go to the Bears. He could go back to Broncos. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to the Broncos, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't see him moving too far. Both for him, it was an interesting one. I think he had a really good season. He was nearly out the door towards the end of the year, but new coach, Josh Hannay, I see him staying if things go well.
Yeah, I do too. I think that it's going to take a lot to get him out of that club. And it really depends on Josh Hannay. As I said, that all these Titans players that are coming off contract, it is going to be a huge 12 months for Josh Hannay.
Yep.
If that doesn't go well, everyone's going. So I think that you've definitely got that's going to be the big watch for this year when we preview them. But yeah, I don't think you'll go. I think you know what? I'll throw a big call out there. I think Angus Crichton is more likely to leave the Roosters than Beau Fermor is to leave the Titans.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so. You know what? I mean, Angus Crichton is on this list.
He is on this list.
I'm going to throw Melbourne at you again to replace Sean Bloor.
Oh, I mean, Sean Bloor hasn't really kicked on, has he? Like, I thought he did really well his last few years, but just quite hasn't hit the ceiling.
I mean, I love that Angus Crichton and Cam Munster combo for Australia.
I don't see it happening. I see Angus Crichton going back to probably
Rugby?
I'd love to R360 maybe.
I don't think you'll go R360. He was pretty heavily against that.
Oh, really?
In the media, yeah, he came out and slammed that straight down. But yeah, I think Melbourne would be an awesome fit for Angus Crichton. I just think he'd sit in that left edge back row. Just him and Munster would combine so well. He'd be a real threat there. You're then obviously going to be paired with Howarth as well, two really good line runners. That would just be a real destructive left edge. I really don't mind it.
Wouldn't mind him on the left edge for the Manly Sea Eagles, but
yeah,
I guess we'll see how that goes.
Can I throw one at you that's on this list that I think no one's really going to talk about? Blake Steep.
He's staying. He's a rooster through and through.
Yeah, but there's not going to be a spot for him in that 17. I think that guys like De La Salle and Xavier Vata, those guys will probably leapfrog him. I think that you're probably going to have Celesi Fiketti, Siwa Wong, all the bunch of the younger guys that jumped him at the back end of this year that are probably going to jump him again. I don't think there'll be a spot for him in the 17. So if he wants to play first grade, I think he might have to leave the Roosters.
I think he's a future club captain of the Roosters, and he stays. He stays. He's a Rooster through and through. Ask Hainsey.
Yeah, well, I know what Hainsey will say, but I'm definitely going to put it out there. I think that it's definitely one that will probably get a few clubs knocking on the door. Him and Jesse Calhoun from the Sharks, those two for me would be pretty solid. You don't have to pay too much for them. For Manly, both of those guys, perfect.
Oh, perfect for Manly. I'd love if we got both of them. But I think with this transfer window, it feeds into it's a very good time for these players to be on the market because RL360 is on board. The PNG Chiefs are going to come through. The Bears are going to start to sign in November 1. But RL360, the NRL will put a ban on players for 10 years for negotiating. I want to know your thoughts on it because I feel like I'm a bit mixed about it.
So I think that I said it on the podcast the other day. When I saw the report, and I think when everyone first read it, 10-year ban. Whoa, shit. It's a 10-year ban. That's crazy. That's harsh. Peter V'landys, what is he doing? You actually read the fine print of the media release and the statement and what the reasoning is for all of it, and I completely agree with it.
Yeah.
Let's say Zach Lomax, because it's rumored that he's going. Let's say he goes, 10-year ban. He goes there. The competition falls on its head in the first year of its, release in October.
Yep.
Completely just crashes. What's he going to do? He can't go to rugby. He can't go back to the NRL. He's just left in limbo.
Yeah, what's he going to do then?
You know what I mean? Like, he can't do anything. He has to go and box. He's going to have to do it to Vita Pangai Jr.
But how is that fair?
It's not, but he's being protected by that clause because that's obviously going to be, for any player really, it's going to be a real strong reason to stay in the NRL.
Yeah.
And to have that security, to have that paycheck. You got to remember too, the agents that organise these deals are also banned for 10 years.
Yeah.
So let's say Lomax's manager has agreed to that and he's going to Rugby 360. Every client that he has all of a sudden is a free agent and needs new agents. He gets all of his clients that are playing NRL and rugby dropped. Like that's big. And, there's an argument as to how is that fair on the agent? He's just preventing the best offer to his client. And I agree. You're not able to project the best offer to your client.
Mm.
But at the same time, it's the clause in itself. The reason that it's being put in place is to deter players from making the move in the first place.
Yeah.
And to have that security and paycheck in the NRL.
Yeah.
So for me, looking at it from that lens, I think it's a great idea.
I mean, from the NRL's perspective, it's in the best interest of them to
100%.
To do it like that. But I just think from a player perspective, it's ridiculous. Like that, they should be able to go over to this league and take the risk of not coming back to be able to do that. But 10 years, just for me, I'm backing no evidence here. So but I don't know. I just off it.
Yeah. Look, and for me, when I first looked at it as well, I was pretty off it because you see that headline 10-year ban, and immediately you go, that's unfair on the player, that's unfair on the agent. As I said, the players can go there, and within the first year of its inauguration, it's completely canned. They run out of money, it's done. And the players left in limbo. They can't play rugby league. They can't play any junior rugby league too. This isn't the thing. They're not just banned from NRL. They're banned from en masse. They're like the young kids as well. If you're an 18-year-old that goes over there, you're banned from flag and SG ball. You're banned from everything.
Yeah.
So there is no way you can get back for 10 years.
Right.
So that, for me, should be enough to deter players from even having the conversation.
I mean, that's the intent, right? But I just think that this is the kind of risk. What am I trying to say?
It's preventing players from making a mistake and losing money. I think that we'll probably see the NRL change their mind on it if it becomes successful.
Yep.
If it becomes successful, Volandis will know, okay, this is a successful competition. We have to respect it as such.
Yep.
Sure, players can go. I think at the moment in the stage where this is it was mainly an idea a few months ago. They've got a start date in October. They've got no players signed. I think there's only 2 or 3 French rugby players signed. That's it. It's very early on, and there is every chance that it crushes and burns. So at the moment, I think the goal of this is to protect players from going from there to there.
Yeah. If
it becomes successful and if it is going to become a recognised competition, and again, this is the fine print of that media release, every player that goes to an unrecognised competition by the ARLC is going to be banned for 10 years. So if it becomes recognised as a out-and-out good competition that flourishes and it doesn't look like it's going to crash and burn, then I think Volandis changes his tune, and I think that players are allowed to go there.
Yeah, it's fair. But what if it does work out and these players end up promoting the game by going over there and, this lad's from the NRL, like...
Yeah. That's what I mean. I think if it works out, he changes his tune.
Yeah.
I think it's just at the point where I think that Volandis is more worried about players can go and ruin their careers.
Yeah.
By going over there and then having nothing.
But they're only ruining their careers if because the NRL is making them ruined.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's fair, like, workplace opportunity.
100%. And look, we don't even know if this is going to be legally passed.
Yeah.
Too. So they've just come out and said this. I don't know. I think it's in the best interest of the player while also being in the best interest of the NRL in the sense that they want the best possible... the best possible teams, and best possible players in the competition.
Yeah.
Youngsters as well. These young kids that maybe aren't getting the best opportunities in the lower grades that want to go over there as well. Obviously, those guys will probably look to entertain offers from there too. So I think it's actually in the best interest of the NRL, but also can be in the best interest of the player because it's at this stage of where this competition's at. It's not a recognised competition.
Yeah.
It's not like players haven't signed yet. It could honestly crash and burn. There's a real chance that there's not even enough teams filled because players are too scared to go over there and it's just gone.
I mean, that's fair. And I think I'm more not hopeful, but like I'm more optimistic than others that I think this competition might go all right. And it might be something I want to watch.
Yeah, but like you even look at the Saudi golf competitions and all that sort of stuff as well. Like those are pretty average.
Yeah. Yeah, but like these NRL players are going over. I'm optimistic. I'm an optimist. I'm an optimist. So I want to see these players earn their money and then come back. Like a Jai Gray is not going to earn that type of money anywhere else. I think he's more than entitled to earning that money and then coming back when the NRL wants him to.
Totally.
But yeah, I see where you're coming from. It's in the best interest of the NRL, but like
it's also looking out for the players and while this competition isn't
through my point of view, it's their risk they're taking.
Yeah.
Like if they want to take the risk and it crash and burns, they should have that safety net of the NRL to come back. But now they won't. And I guess that'll deter players, which I guess is a good thing. But like don't say you're looking after the players when
And look,
the best interest is your back pocket. Like
there was a little safety net at the bottom of the media release that was saying that you can pretty much challenge any 10-year ban that's imposed. So let's say Lomax goes, it's shit, it falls, he's banned. He can come back and make a claim to the NRL and say, hey, look, I made a mistake. Competition's gone shit. Can I have this 10-year ban lifted so I can go come back?
All right, let's move on to the Rabbitohs season review. Les, you said their ceiling was 4th and their floor was 12th. I said their ceiling was 1st. I didn't say what their floor was because I was so high on them. I said at the start of the season, Latrell, if he plays more than 60% of the season, they will do well. He did not. I said, you said Cody Walker needs to play majority of the season. You're very high on Cody Walker. He did not play many of the season. We both said Keon needs to play middle. He did. That was the one thing that came true, but it was just injuries that defined their season.
Yeah, it was. Tough injury year for them. I mean, look, they still had plenty of talent in there where they probably should still have gotten better than 14th, but super proud of the effort at the back end of the year to win 4 games in a row was just outstanding. So, look, I definitely commend the players on that. It'll be very interesting to see. We had a lot of young guys debut and obviously get a ton of opportunities too in Liam LeBlanc and Tommy Fletcher, who, by the way, is, I think, off contract as well, which is crazy. But you've obviously had guys like, even Bud Sullivan got a real good crack this year too. Look, it was a tough year with injuries, but great to see a few young guys get opportunities.
Ashton Ward was a massive standout for me. I think the fact that he come on and probably wouldn't have got first grade experience had it wasn't for all these injuries. There is a positive in all these. Yes, they finished quite low on the ladder. They had a pretty ridiculous season, but there are some positives to come out of this. You got a hot take regarding him?
I do. I think he'll be the 6th next year. I really liked what I saw from him, and it almost was like at that point of the year when he came in, we started winning football games. Just really, I wouldn't even say directed the team around well, but he just combined well with the guys that they had in there. When Cody came off the bench, it looked really good too. So keep an eye on that with how injury prone he's been over the past couple of years. Maybe he does come off the bench. I've got him probably maybe around that 7 jersey too, and you have those two guys playing together. But if you can put a bit of size on Ashton Ward, he's a gun. And he was very highly rapped at the back end of the year from some of the experts on the TV.
They've just re-signed him as well. So obviously they're in
3 or 4 years.
Yeah, long-term plan. Jesus Christ. But if Cody Walker plays 7, then where does that leave Jamie Humphries? They've got Pete Mamazzelos and Brandon Smith. Where does that leave all these guys?
So look, it depends on how you look at Brandon Smith. If you look at him as a middle forward, then you can obviously have Humphries on the bench. I mean, even Humphries played 13 at the back end of the year too and just was there for the kicking game. So if that's how you want to play those guys, then that's how you want to play those guys. But as I said, it will be really interesting to see how this side is shaped. Even Jack Whiten, that's going to be super interesting. There's a bit of news about Tyrone Munro that he's been stood down due to some off-field indiscretions. So you'd think that maybe Campbell Graham goes to the wing and Jack Whiten slots in at right centre, and then probably Trell on the left side with AJ. I've got Jai Gray at fullback. That's probably how I see my side, giving a little bit too much away for next year.
But I don't hate that, but Brandon Smith as a middle. You've got Dave Fafita potentially coming to the club, Tallis Duncan, Ewan Aiken. Where do all these players fit? You've got a stacked roster next year, and it looks promising, to be honest. You just need a bloody halfback.
We do. And I think in the short term,
Cody can do it.
Jonah Glover's signed as well. People forget the young guy from St. George. I looked at his highlights recently. That's all coming out on the podcast soon. But he's really good. Really, really good. Played 7 in the lower grades and was the halfback before Ilias rocked up at St. George too. So he'll be in that conversation. Really good running game on him. There is a lot to piece together. But it's a headache that I love to have, especially with Wayne Bennett in the building. He's going to make the right call for me. So a lot of chefs in the kitchen too, but I like how it's looking, and I like the fact that we have given these young guys opportunities with all the injuries. Even you guys like Bentley Harpes and these sort of guys, really enjoyed watching them throughout the year. I do think that we maybe made a mistake in letting young Hayes and Mellors go. because I think there was a real opportunity in him to debut. Well, he did obviously get a game in there, but just to play some consistent first grade. He's a gun. Obviously, onto the Warriors next year. It would have been nice to keep him, but still got plenty of talent in this roster, mate.
Obviously, done a review on the sports and injury physio, whatever that kind of role is. That person's been moved on.
Yeah, so it looks like the S&C's been sacked, and they're going to get a new S&C, strength and conditioning. For those playing from home.
That's a word.
So they'll look to replace those guys, which I think is it was always inevitable, especially 2 years in a row where we've been smashed with injuries. Maybe they need to just dig up some Redfern soil and put it in and around Heffron. But yeah, look, I think that's going to be huge, and that will obviously show, is it the ground that they're training at, or is it the S&C and the personnel that they've got in the building? I'm keen for next year. I think that if you're looking at this from a glass half full perspective, it's great that these young guys have had a real opportunity. Keon's going to be in for a big year. I'll tell you what, mate, talking about the older fellas, Jai Arrow, he was massive this year, playing back row and middle as well, and just absolutely killing it. He was pretty much just shy of a Queensland jersey in that game 3, in and around game 3.
I thought he was ripped off without a Queensland jersey, but him and Keon up front it just makes their side, the 1-2 punch, just that much better. At the start of the year, I think Totola and Moali, or Totola and Arrow was in there sometimes. But
so that's obviously a bit of a big watch too. So it came out, I think, on Code Sports this afternoon. So we're going to get Fafita. Moali's going to go to Manly a year early. And then Nathan Brown's going to the Tigers.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's going to be the little, I guess, reshuffle there.
Merry-go-round.
That's going to be interesting. I mean, do you see Dave Fafita definitely on the edge for you?
Yeah, for sure.
You wouldn't have potentially tinker with him in the middle?
No, just with the middles you do have. I mean, if the plan is to move Keon back to the edge, then I see it. But
well, I think Jai might move back to the edge and probably sit on the right there.
I don't know why you'd put 2 edge players in the middle and put a middle player on the edge in Jai Arrow.
Yeah, but you got Tallis there as well. I think Tallis is my left edge back row.
Tallis is locked in, and I think Fafita didn't get along with the Titans coach because he wanted that left edge, right? Surely Wayne Bennett put some sense into him. He would be an absolute weapon in the middle, but I just hope we see his best footy on the edge.
Yeah, for sure. Mate, Pistol Pete, underrated year. Peter Mamazoulis.
I thought he was very good, yeah.
Especially with all of the shit he copped at the start of the year on 100%. A number of podcasts, even from myself, because I thought that the way that his development was handled was poor. He's 27 years of age now, I believe. Well, 26, 25. I think 27 was a little bit over. But it's taken a long time to bring him in.
Yeah.
He's good. He definitely played well at the start of the year. He's going to be in for a huge off-season because Jamie Humphreys will probably be fighting for the 9 spot in my side anyway. You've got Brandon Smith there, depending on how you want to use him. They've moved Ryan Gray on to Tweed.
Bronson Garlick comes in.
Bronson Garlick does come in, that's true. Again, do you see him as a hooker option or do you see him as a middle forward? I'm not too sure. But that's, so many
moving pieces. He's going to need a big preseason. And I guess we'll preview them next year. But overall, I feel like they did what they could do. They still fought, which was good. They were definitely a Wayne Bennett side, but they had some pretty rough.
Last 4 games was outstanding. That fight back and to win 4 games in a row. Jai Gray, unbelievable. Tallis Duncan, unbelievable. To play centre and do that was insane. Even your young guys like Liam LeBlanc and Tommy Fletcher in that last game against the Roosters was insane too. All
right, let's move on to the Tigers. And at the start of the year, you said they would be 9th. I said their ceiling would be 5th, and 13th was my floor. Your floor was 15th, not the spoon, which I think is a good thing. I think one thing we did say, we had Justin Olam. At the start of the season, we had Royce Hunt, David Clemmer, Talon De Silva, Lockie Galvin. A lot of these players at the start of the season we expected to have big years. Actually, they moved on from the club. So it's kind of gone in a different direction that we probably weren't expecting. And I think for the better. We kind of said that Benji Marshall was 3rd on the list in terms of coaches under pressure. I think after this year, he's way down on that list now.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's done well with this roster, to be honest. And I think that next year is going to be the big year. I've sort of hinted at it on the podcast, but this pack that they've got, the young pack that they've got, plus if they get Nathan Brown, like we discussed before, just a little bit of an experience in there. I don't think he'll make the 17, but I think he'll certainly be in and around it. Mate, this pack that they've got and the depth and the experience that they have, it's a top 8 pack.
Keon is out for 3 months.
You're kidding. They did say he was going to get surgery after the World Cup.
Oh, shit.
Oh, well.
It's another injury.
I know. Great way to kick off the off-season. Back on the Tigers, mate. I think this pack is a top 8 pack.
Yeah,
I really do. I love,
especially if Nathan Brown comes in. Like Manly relied on him to be their main guy, but if he's their second or third guy, then that's
I don't even think it'll be their second or
third
I know. Either. Because they've got young Sione Finu who killed it off the bench from them back into the year.
I thought Fanil Pole was great too.
Yeah, Terrell, obviously. 80 minutes of fame. Samuel Afinu was a gun. Adam Dewey, probably your halfback next year.
Yeah, I would say so. At the start of the year, it's funny because listening to the podcast, our best side was Adam Dewey at centre. It's crazy how far things have come. Latu Finu.
Yeah, probably 13 or 14.
Oh, I don't know about him, eh? I feel like he's had such big raps and he kind of hasn't delivered.
I've liked what I've seen from him. I think it's still very early on. He hasn't really had an out-and-out crack at a jersey. Like, came in and played a little bit of half, then they moved him to 13.
Yeah.
Then they moved him to 14. He's like sort of jumped around a bit. He hasn't really had a solid couple of weeks in a specific position. So, look, I like him. I think that he needs a full season. He needs a big pre-season if he wants to take that 7 jersey off Dewey. Because I think Dewey's playing 7 or 13. I think he's in the starting side. Yeah, mate, they've set up really well. The only criticism I'd really have, or big criticism I'd say, is Appy needs way less minutes. I'd even potentially have him off the bench next year.
Yeah, and their backup hooker, who is it at
Tristan
the moment?
Hope.
Tristan Hope.
But they've also got a young kid that the Tigers fans are very high on in Jared Hayward. Really, really good number 9 there through the Tigers system. They reckon he's pretty close to cracking a spot too.
He's starting to slow down now, isn't he, Appy?
It's not so much he's starting to slow. It's just the fatigue factor. Like he's not young. He's not young. Like he'd be 33 at the best.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Something like that.
Are you going to look it up then? Or
No, I wasn't. I was just going to talk about Royce Hunt.
Yeah.
I thought he didn't really kick on, and it's good they're addressing that with getting Nathan Brown to the club.
Yep.
I think they're making the right moves. Taruva was good culture. Bring in the Buller thing's going to be very interesting. Because I don't know if they can get just an elite fullback at the moment. So I think they're probably going to hold on to him. But I also think they shouldn't pay $900K for someone like Buller.
Well, I mean, the worst case scenario is that Taruva plays fullback. Played fullback for Fiji, killed it. Like I don't mind that either in the short term at least. Anyway,
Tell you who else played fullback for Fiji? Dream Buller.
Yes,
and he killed it.
Yeah, I know. But like, if Dream Buller was to go, then I think that could obviously be an option. And in the worst sense, talking about this season just passed, we thought that the Galvin leaving thing was going to hurt them so much. It did not affect them really at all.
No.
I mean, it did when it happened because it was the shock factor, and when he wasn't there, they weren't winning football games. But towards the back end of the year, as they sort of eased into their season, didn't really affect them too much, did it?
No, it didn't. I actually think it galvanized them. It's such a testament to fitting into the culture and having the right balance within your side. Obviously, Galvin was a little bit of, I wouldn't say poison, but just didn't fit in with the philosophy of the side.
I didn't think he fitted with the style of footy they wanted to play either, really.
No, and I don't think he does for the Bulldogs either, but I think that's a conversation to be had on another day.
Yeah.
I like the direction they're going. They've let go of promising players, but in the past, you'd look at that and be like, oh, they've let this player go. Look at their top 13.
Did Naden get re-signed just recently, Brent Naden?
Not that I'm
He's
aware
off contract
of.
right now.
Pretty much.
Fucking No, I'd be with how highly the players talk about him.
Yep.
Be jumping on him ASAP.
Yeah, 100%. I thought they could have gone like a Dane Laurie. I think Heath Mason at fullback. He was good. Is he their fullback?
Fuck, he's a complicated one, isn't he? He's
He's a good little player, but I feel like they definitely missed when Buller was not there.
Yeah, 100%.
I think
he played that game against the Cowboys where he carved. That was great. He was at 5'8". Yeah, I don't know. I think he's a good fill-in player at the moment as they sort of try and figure out where his best position is. Does play okay in reserve grade at fullback, but is that the long-term option? I'm not too sure. Mate, Charlie Staines is off to the Catalans as well, so they got rid of him.
Charlie Staines was in the NRL grid yesterday.
The NRL grid. Oh,
you know the NRL grid?
Oh, mate, that is a blast from the past.
Yeah, I played it yesterday, and it was a player that scored 4 tries and won a premiership.
Yeah.
Charlie Staines 0.73 or something.
That's a steal.
It was so good.
What's your thoughts on Luai, mate? Is he a 7 or is he a 6?
I think he's a leader, and we said this at the start of the season. He's a leader, and I'm happy for him to play 7 if he needs to. But while Dewey's there, I'm happy for Dewey to be that guy. But I think it's definitely better for him to be a 6 for now.
If they play like Samoa did, if they can sort of ace that style of play where it's just attacking you and giving you not an inch, then they can do it with this pack. They can be as aggressive as what that Samoan pack was.
100%, but you just got to find the right balance of players to make that happen.
Yeah.
And they don't quite have it yet.
I think they do, mate. I really love the pack that they've got.
They need like a...
Kaipius Paul's coming next year too.
Yeah, I think they need like an Ashton Ward at number 6 or something, like a zippy number 6 that can just play fast footy.
Dewey was great. Luai can obviously kill it. Buller, I think, is really getting better by the year, especially if they can sort of really ace Appy's minutes.
Yep.
Mate, this is a top 8 side in the waiting for me.
If they play fast footy, I think they're really good for next
100%.
year. Let's move on to the Raiders, and this is going to be an interesting one. I said their ceiling would be 6 and their floor would be 13th. You said... Spoon.
Yeah, fuck.
We both said we wanted Strange at centre to accommodate for Chevy Stewart.
Yeah.
Strange went on to be the 5'8" of the year. The Dally M 5'8" of the year. I want to preface this with we thought the Fogarty and Sanders were going to be their future.
Yeah.
And we thought this was going to be a rebuilding year. The fact that Fogarty did move on, I actually think the structure of their side is a lot better than what we had it as.
I mean, we'll save the preview for the preview, but I'm concerned for next year. I really am. With Fogarty gone. I'll read out some stats for you, mate.
Yep.
He was 3rd for the points scored this year, just under Hines and Asako.
Mm-hmm.
He was also 3rd for goals kicked successfully as well. So massive in those areas. I was reading something else about Canberra. I'll find it. Tom Starling as well, receipts. I mean, they led quite a bit of stats with Fogarty there. The big one for me is the kicking game that you're going to lose with Fogarty out. His kicking game was huge, and it saved them from a lot of losses for me. Anyway,
I think I'm going to be concerned with as well is Ethan Strange or Ethan Sanders are going to have to play on their not preferred side on the right.
Yep.
I think that's going to disrupt them a lot. I think Ethan Sanders' kicking game is pretty good from what I've seen, but it's a lot of change again.
But you know what worries me the most is the fact that they were openly going after Ilias, Hawkins, and Pezzett as well over Sanders for next year.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're looking to replace, well, not replace, but
means
they're looking to have
confident.
a speed bump. They're not confident he's ready.
Yeah.
And I'm not confident he's ready really from the one game that he played.
We said at the start of the year, pick and stick. We both said that Chevy Stewart and Sanders should come into the side. I think we did say KO Weeks is a very good stopgap.
Yep.
I think KO Weeks is a very good fullback now. This year, I think we got that wrong. I think they've got it right.
Yep.
Obviously. Papali'i send-off you were talking about. You were saying that you feel like they should... It'd be interesting to see how they react to his send-off year. Looks like he's going to stay next year. But we both kind of said that we think he needs to come off the bench. And he did sometimes, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on them?
I think we were wrong. I think he had a future here, to be honest. Like, he pretty much proved everyone wrong, really. He
Yeah.
was massive for them. Massive games through the middle of the field for them this year. I was a massive fan of him. And I think that having Horsburgh and having Tarpanay around him helped a lot as well. Even guys like Atta Mariota off the bench, I thought was massive this year. But he was big. He was a standout for me. So, look, whether next year's his send-off year or even the year after, depending on how long he wants to go, I think we were wrong. I think that he's got a few more years in him, potentially.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's done well. 20 minutes off the bench or starting, whatever. He's the leader of their pack, so he can stay as long as they want. As long as they can fit him under the cap, then it's good. I think they've had a really good season. They overachieved, but we both said that, I didn't. You didn't say this, but I said a Ricky Stewart side is not capable of getting a spoon. Which
and you know what? I'm happy to cop that on the chin too. I'm happy to cop it on the chin. I was very wrong about this Raiders team, and I didn't look at the obvious stuff, which is it's Ricky Stewart and this is his team, and they'll fight for every inch. And they did that this year. They did that, and I think Fogarty was a huge part of that, and that's obviously going to be interesting to watch next year. But mate, you're looking at this year alone. Ethan Strange, mate, probably an Origin player next year. If all things go right, probably maybe in the centres, depending on how you structure your team. But far out. They've got some good players. K.O. Weeks was outstanding, as we said. Tom Starling, mate, was a standout for me. That first game in Vegas, like, he was electric. And just continue that form. And it'll be interesting because Jaden Braley's coming in. Owen Paddy they've got there.
what do they do there? I don't think
Danny Levi's going to Super League, I think.
Jaden Brayley playing on reserve grade. Surely.
I don't know. I don't have an answer right now.
Or is Owen Paddy going to go back to reserve grade and play more minutes?
I would honestly pull my hair out if Owen Paddy was to go back to reserve grade, because with how good he was off the bench,
he was very good.
Even in 15-minute stints, like, just so good for them. Had pretty much won them games in some instances throughout the year too. So
he also lost a couple of games.
He did, 100%.
But his kicking game, one of the best in the NRL.
Yeah,
for a hooker.
For 100%. He has got Harry Grant sort of ceiling.
Yep.
Owen Paddy.
Yeah, 100%. He reminds me so much of Harry Grant.
I really like him. I think that he's in for another big year. I think it was a great year from a rookie, considering he only had 15 minutes or so a game. But that situation will be interesting. Do you think Brayley's big enough to sort of move into a 13-ish role?
Do they really need another 13?
They don't really.
Like, they've got Horsburgh.
But if you're thinking of, like, how he's going to fit into that side.
I don't think they play three hookers. There's, like, a massive meme going on about that for sure. Like, it's kind of like when the Dogs signed all these utilities.
Yeah.
I don't know what his role is going to be. Maybe it's just going to be some guy like a Levi who can come in and do a job.
It'd be such a. Would he agree to that contract though?
Don't know.
Do you really think that
it's better than playing at the Knights?
But he'd be playing consistent first grade at the Knights. He's not playing.
I don't know.
From what we're saying here, he's probably not going to play first grade next year.
Who knows?
We'll see.
Let's talk about it next year,
mate. Quickly as well, I think we need to shout out these two centres, Tomoko and Chris. Huge seasons from them. They're probably the unsung heroes in this side.
I think Seb Chris really surprised me. I was very impressed with how he went. He went on like a 4-game try-scoring streak at the start of the year. He scored that try against the Sharks, which sealed the game. I think he was very good. He did fall off towards the back end of the season. I thought, what are you doing? I thought, yeah, it's still going.
Nah, bro.
What do you mean?
The roadcaster, the numbers are down. Is it recording?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so see the wavelengths on.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Cool. Oh,
yeah, no, because it goes through the roadcaster and then it goes through something else.
Okay,
so.
cool. Easy.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Where was I? I thought Timoko was very disappointing though. Towards the back end.
I disagree. I thought he was good.
Defensively, he was the side to target.
Yeah. Back end of the year, defense was shocking. Most of the year, though, attacking-wise, he was good. I thought that they were both pretty good from an attacking sense. Definitely defense for Timoko needs some work. But I was a big fan of him for the most part of the year. Simi Sasungi, mate.
Oh, Simi Sasungi, what a weapon.
Mate, like, the start of the year wasn't even going to be playing first grade. He's playing for Samoa.
Yeah.
And carving.
He is a weapon. And they've got Matty Nicholson. They've got Hudson Young. They've also got who is their rider? Hosking.
Mate, so next year, Hosking, Nicholson or Sasangi, who's your right edge?
I think Sasangi's a nice 15, like an interchange player.
Coming off,
It's Nicholson or Hosking. I think Hosking's very stable there, and Nicholson is unproven, but he was very good. He was very good for the limited time he got. Pre-season, let Ricky decide.
Yeah, I know. We're not coaches.
Yeah.
We'll stick to our game.
All right, we're going to go through our top 5 signings for the year at the start of the year and just revise that and see where we reckon we're going to go. Yep. So you said number 5 was going to be Fish, number 4, Stefano, number 3, Terrell May, number 2, Valentine Holmes, and number 1, Jerome Luai.
I rate the Stefano call. I think Stefano was awesome.
He's stuck. He's stuck, baby.
He's stuck.
I thought, you know what?
I mean, his grand final performance was still pretty good. Even though he lost, I thought he was pretty good. Like, start of the game, he was great.
Do you feel like him or AFB were better signings?
It's tough. Depends on what side of the season you're looking at. AFB, overall, probably the better signing. But I stick by that Stefano call. I think he was a great pickup. Second half of the year, after Origin, he lived up to what he was needing to live up to.
And there's a very good chance that Melbourne Storm don't make a grand final if they don't have a solid like alpha middle like Stefano. Fish, I think he did a job when he was on the field. He did a great job. Obviously, the Warriors kind of fell off late in the season, but I think he was always going to be what he was. Terrell May, number 3.
Yeah, I like it. I mean,
I like it. He robbed for front row of the year.
Yeah.
Val Holmes, number 2.
That didn't really. Well, yes and no. I think he was good for the Dragons, and I think that, you know, from an Origin perspective, he got his spot. Like I think that there was every chance in the world he would have lost his spot in the back line there. So I think he had a good year. Was he a top 5 signing this year? Probably not, but I don't know. I think that he was a good signing for the Dragons.
Number 1, we both had Luai. Yeah. Probably not the best signing of the year, though. I think Aaron Clark probably deserves to be there.
Mate, did you have Aaron Clark in your list?
No, I had number 1, Luai, number 2, May, number 3, AFB, number 4, Fish. I had number 5, Gutho. So we're kind of on the same pages with what we're doing.
We didn't even think about Clark. Bro, and
he played 20 minutes for the Titans. How could we expect what happened?
Crazy. Lock forward of the year over Yo.
But was Clark like a better signing than Fish? Or was Fish the better signing?
Clark was the better signing. Yeah, he had the better year. And I think Clark is probably as you said, the best signing of this year. I think he was outstanding. Massive games for his size, and particularly when Fish and Mitch Barnett were both out with injury.
Yep.
Mate, he was there out and out alpha middle, and he's a former hooker half.
100%. I thought he was great, and it's just a testament to the Titans and what they've done.
Yeah, 100%.
Like that, how they've mismanaged him.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, thanks for coming on, Les.
Mate, anytime.
We'll be back next week. Hopefully more energized.
Yeah. I know.
Bro,
big day at work for you.
I'm so cooked from today. Oh my God, I've had such a big day.
Mate, I'm living the bum life, mate. Unemployed.
That's the difference. That's the difference between us two. Unemployed.
I know, hard yakka and doing absolutely fuck all.
All right, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.